Hello everyone, this is Varigata Gaming, and today I thought I would take you on a little journey back through the sands of time to introduce to you my first ever character in World of Warcraft and talk to you a little bit about why I love the game, why I started playing, and why I will continue to play for as long as it exists. So this is my character. I created her in about 2014 as a sort of free character that you can level up to 20 before I decided to fully commit and buy a subscription in about 2015, at which point I made a sort of main character in a different, more highly populated server. And then I ended up leaving this one for years. I sort of checked in every now and again, but I ended up not really, playing this character for a long time. And then I sort of decided some time ago that I should come back to it. I thought, let's see what she's up to, let's see what she's doing. And here we are. I ended up using her as sort of an exploring character, because there was lots of zones or expansions that I'd missed or not fully completed, so I thought, I can use Sepharis to go back in time and place and experience stuff that I'd missed before. So currently Sepharis is in Pandaria. She's sort of early stages Pandaria, because I never finished or played Pandaria through properly. I sort of played it quite a bit, but I quite enjoyed it, and there was quite a lot of stuff that I missed. So I thought I would come back, and as you can see so far, she is the very essence and definition of a filthy casual character, clothed in only the best random gear that quests drop that you can possibly find. Not very many mounts, although I did recently get when low. I think if you're a regular subscriber, I'm a 6-month subscriber, they give you a free mount and things like that. The Dreadwake is my favourite one. I think it's my favourite mount. It's great. My pets here again. I mean, I've got a few, not that many, but actually over the past year or so I sort of decided I was going to commit a bit more to pet battling, so I might make some videos about that in the future actually. But yeah, I chose her to be a beast mastery hunter. I thought that sounded like that would keep me as far away from being killed as possible. If I can be fighting at range, that sounded good to me. I've tried to keep with the theme, and I only have spider pets, hunter pets on this character. This is Zerashiel, my first ever hunter pet. I try to name all of my pets, or most of my pets, after sort of mythical creatures or interesting characters from myths and legends throughout time, and I try to find names that are related to the animal that they are. So mythical bears, mythical cats, things like that. I don't actually know why I chose Zerashiel with this, because I just looked up the name, and apparently it's one of God's angels, and a protector, an angel of healing. So I don't know why I chose that for an attacking spider. But there we go. 2014, 2015, Varigata decided that this was the best way to go. yeah, so you can see here my achievements are sort of from 2015. Maybe there's some from 2018. Looks like, and then you can see I finally started getting some in 2022. But yeah, the last time I was here was 2015. So I thought it's about time that I come back to this expansion, explore it a bit, see what I missed last time, revisit my first character, and yeah, just have a bit of a look. Before we go out and about though, I discovered that apparently this character has only waved once in the entire time I've had it, which is a little bit sad. I think I need to remedy that. Anyway, I think it's about time that we actually go outside. We don't need to sit in this inn for the entire video. So I'm going to take you to a quest that I remember, and I remember really, really enjoying, and just talk to you a little bit more about my World of Warcraft journey. Now, before I set the scene and take you back in time, let's have a little look at the quest that I am about to start playing. Here we find your ragtag crew seems to have captured a prisoner of war, a young Alliance soldier. They are as yet unaware of exactly who it is that they've managed to pin down, and now we're going to be taken on an exciting little storytelling trip where they explain where they found him and eventually work out who he actually is. Shademaster Kirin says his garb is untraditional. Oh, if only you knew who you'd accidentally just picked up. Okay, now, cast your mind back through the sands of time. Rewind. Sit back, relax, and listen as I tell you the thrilling tale of my World of Warcraft journey. Why I love it so much, why I started, why I continue to play it, and maybe I'll throw in a couple of things that I hope might improve in the future as well. So, basically, I started in 2014, so I would have been about 22 years old, ish, 21, 22 when I started, and I was seeing this bloke who was about 5 years older than me, and he told me about a game that he played, and he said, oh, I reckon you'll like it. I reckon you'll like the fantasy elements, you'll like the storytelling, you'll like the character creation, all that jazz. So I had a look. When I got home, I looked it up a little bit, did some research. He showed it to me on his computer, and I thought, yeah, this looks cool. He told me a bit about the classes and the races and everything like that, and he said I'd probably like to play a hunter. And he was correct. Whilst that relationship absolutely did not last, my love of World of Warcraft definitely did. I created a hunter, an undead hunter. I thought the undead looked fascinating. I thought, having watched the introductory cinematics that they do when you create a new character, I thought they seemed like the most interesting race. I thought they had an incredible background. I thought they looked really cool. I thought it seemed like sort of a quite different, I being able to play an undead zombie essentially just seemed different to anything else I'd seen. So I created it, went with a hunter because I loved the idea of fighting at range, fighting with pets, having companions by my side that could fight with me as I travel the roads of Azeroth. I just thought it all sounded excellent, and I dropped in and just I was just in awe. I just previous to that, my one of my favourite games, and a game that I still love, was Final Fantasy 12. I loved the characters in Final Fantasy 12 and the dialogue, and the fighting style and the aesthetics, everything like that. And I felt that WoW had, something similar going on. It had, detailed plot, it had dialogue, it had snappy comebacks, I don't know, it had the animation, it had detail, like the detail of the landscapes and everything like that I thought was incredible. And obviously over time it's changed and improved, but I still feel as though the landscapes and the depth of field view, and the massive range of characters and NPCs and dialogue, it's just one of the big strong points of WoW, and I absolutely loved it. I did find I was, a complete casual. I never, it took me a very long time to try out, attempt a dungeon or anything like that. It took me a long time to get into a guild. I think I did one raid once with a guild that I was in, that just I was bad. I had no idea what I was doing and it freaked me out, and then I just never did it again. I think to this day that's the only raid I've ever attempted, which is a bit sad, a bit of a shame, and I would love to try raiding again, because I feel like I'm missing out on quite a lot of WoW content by not raiding. I think whilst that I've never ran out of things to do, I think I need to be a bit more sort of, I don't know, involved and I think doing the dungeons especially, I think in BFA it ended up meaning not doing the dungeons ended up meaning that I missed out quite a lot of the story, especially with Jaina, and I just I feel as though I should try again, but we'll see. I need to find a calm but active casual guild, and maybe they can help me out. Anyway, so I started off initially with a free character, with this character, Sepharis, and Sepharis is named after a character I created to play my earliest D&D games, actually. So this Sepharis name I got from playing D&D. And then I decided to just fully commit and buy it properly, but pay for a subscription, and I ended up waiting until what did I do? So I bought a subscription, created a new main character called Naxxramas on a different server that was far more highly populated, and then I think the first expansion that I played was, I think it was Warlords of Draenor, and I was told that I should use the boost, but I should wait to use it until after I'd reached a certain level. So I leveled to 70 or something like that. I think you had to level to 60 or 70, and then it helped get all of your stats to a certain amount before boosting. I don't know. I have no idea. So I did, and I boosted, and I remember I didn't have any idea what boosting meant. I literally thought it meant it would just make my level go higher, but I would still be in exactly the same place. I would still do everything the same. I would just be a higher level. But that's apparently not what it meant. I boosted, and I think I vaguely remember being, I don't know if I was transported somewhere. I was given loads of new gear. I lost loads of stuff that I had. I was not in the same place anymore. I tried to get back to where I was and found the entire area full of enemies when it wasn't full of enemies before. And I just... So I don't know what boosting is like nowadays. I don't think I've boosted a character since. I still have a couple of boosts available to me. I've got 2, I think, that I've just not used. But I would, if you're a casual player like me, then just look up what boosting means a little bit first. Like what it's going to do to your character, because I remember being terrified. I have a very clear view of travelling through whichever area I was in at the time, just thinking what the actual hell is going on, like what is going on, where am I, what's happening, where's all my stuff gone, why is there suddenly loads of enemies. But anyway, whatever. That's fine. So that was how I initially started, and then I decided that I wanted to try out, other characters, other races. I stuck with Hunter. I occasionally made, new characters in another race and a different class just to see what happened, but I've always found Hunter to be my favourite. I do like Warlock. I think Warlock is probably my second favourite. But if you like, having companions and ranged attacks like me, then Hunter is the best, obviously. Also, I just find if you're into, if you have an overactive imagination, or you're into the RP bit of the MMO RPG, then having, as a solo player, having pets, or as a warlock, your minions available to you, just sort of adds to the imagining that you're an intrepid explorer with a faithful hound assisting you, things like that. So I really enjoyed that part of it, actually. I just found it comforting, I suppose, and added to the story quite a lot. I think the reason that I kept coming back to WoW, so obviously I've just listed some, but I think it was just the incredible amount of detail that really brought me back. The storytelling. I mean, nowadays I'm sure we've all got opinions about World of Warcraft storytelling, but I've a couple of years ago, or especially when I first started, I fully just thought it just had the most incredibly detailed storyline. I felt like I cared about all of the characters. I felt as though I wanted to continue their stories. I wanted to know what happened to them. I wanted to know where they were going. I thought the recurring characters were very strong, and I just found that something that kept bringing me back, as well as I just mentioned the landscapes, but also something I do love about WoW is the sort of added extras. So the cinematics, the in-game cutscenes, especially the cinematics, are absolutely incredible. There was a period of time when they really pulled out all the stops for those, and I think was it BFA? One of the more recent expansions did full sort of like cartoons, and I think they did it a little bit for Shadowlands as well. I loved all of the sort of introductory videos for Shadowlands, but I just really find that WoW does cinematics and stuff like that far better than other people. I feel like they really put effort in, and I hope that they continue. I hope that they keep using them. I don't know if they've released any recently. It's a bit of the shame if they don't continue, but anyway, yeah, so that's just some of the reasons that I keep coming back. The landscapes, the detail, the soundtrack, the cinematics, and the strength of recurring characters just make me invested. But obviously, with any amount of pros, there have to be some cons as well, to balance things out. And I find that for me, the cons are sort of, I think I'm a bit disappointed that there are not more quests relating to professions or relating to your class. So, just dotted about throughout. I know that we have class order halls and things like that now, but I wanted, random quests so quite a lot of the quests are go and slay this amount of things, or go and find this thing, or whatever. But I wanted there to be quests where we found artifacts using our archaeology skill and brought those artifacts back to the quest giver, and they, assisted the story in some way. Or you have to, I don't know, I think there are some quests where you can bring materials to quest givers and then they create something for you, and I really like that sort of stuff. And I just really wish there was a bit more covering, a wider use of the professions and of our classes. And then the other con that I have at the moment, whilst I've just said I really like the storytelling, I found recently that I've been feeling a bit of a disconnect between I just feel a bit disconnected from the story. I feel that now that we've gone into outer space and to the afterworld, to the afterlife, I don't feel as strong a connection to Azeroth anymore, and I really just desperately hope that future expansions bring us back. They bring us back to the original continents. I'm sure that there's still more that can be done there, especially with the dragons or pirates or anything like that, and I'm very sure there's a whole entire side of the planet that hasn't even been explored yet. So hopefully they bring it back and we can start exploring Azeroth again once we've all come back from the afterlife. But anyway, I think that sort of brings to a close everything I wanted to say. You can see there, I'm sure you just saw on the screen, we finally found out who that young Alliance soldier is. None other than the son of the king himself, Anduin Wrynn. We've accidentally just kidnapped the son of the Alliance leader. Well done, us. Great job, really helpful. Anyway, maybe I will continue playing the rest of that quest line. I remember loving it when I did it the first time. But for now, I think I've well and truly covered my early stages with World of Warcraft. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit rambly, but who doesn't love a bit of a ramble every now and again? Thank you for watching, and hopefully see you again in the future. Okay, bye bye.